Hi, I'm Leon Lovelace, and this is Unstoppable Force. Now, I'd also like to tell you again today that it feels good to get the win, because the North Carolina Republican Governor, Pat McCrory, he's officially bowed out of the race. He lost the election. So, it feels good because Pat McCrory, he's done some conservative bills he's passed that I didn't like and just weren't popular with a lot of people in North Carolina, my state. One of them was the infamous House Bill 2. Infamous House Bill 2 that forces transgender people to go to the bathroom assigned to them at birth. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to talk about this from the Raleigh News and Observer. I'm also going to talk about something in the Charlotte Observer. Okay, and this is from the Raleigh News and Observer. And with the concession, McCrory becomes the state's first governor to lose a re-election bid since a constitutional amendment in the 1970s gave governors the ability to seek more than one four-year term. His defeat followed the nation's second costliest gubernatorial race, North Carolina's most expensive ever. So that's not good that we're spending more and more money on governor races, and that's really not going to help the people by corporations and dark money and all that sorts of suspicious funding of our legislators to get elected. So that's not good that the costs are just going up. But it says Cooper, a Democrat, and the state's attorney general had a lead of 10,293 votes over McCrory in nearly final election tallies on the State Board of Elections website Monday evening, about 0.2% of votes cast. Then it talks about them just the normal statements they make after an election, whether they win or lose. But here's an important part about this election is that Cooper's power as governor will be limited by the state legislature, which has a Republican supermajority in both chambers. This means that the GOP has enough votes to override Cooper's veto of bills that Democrats oppose, and he'll need support from Republican legislators to accomplish his policy goals. So it's nice that we got a Democrat in the governor's office, but a lot of the legislators are still Republicans. So I think a lot of that was a lot of people didn't come out for Hillary because Hillary wasn't all that great, and two was was a lot of the voter discrimination with a lot of laws he passed. So a lot of people that could have voted weren't able to. So the Republicans were able to keep their seats. And we still have a lot of just terrible gerrymandering. A lot of it's just racial. Some of it is based on party affiliation. But just a lot of the racial gerrymandering and the gutting of the Voting Rights Act. That really hurts. So we're getting a lot of bad policy makers in the office right now. Oh, here we go. He's really going to be playing defense for at least the first year, said David McLennan, a political scientist at Meredith College. He's going to have to compromise on things he could compromise on with a General Assembly. So here we go with some centrists already just pounding them drum beats about, the Democrats, if they win, they got to compromise. Let's pound it. If Democrats win, they have to compromise because we are a center-right nation, so if a lefty, a lot of times they're corporate Democrats, but we don't know about Roy Cooper, but that'd be disaster if all he does is compromise, because we need him to fight for the people. We need him to fight for progressive policies that are going to help the people of the great state of North Carolina. So we will have to wait and see what he's going to do, but I just don't like hearing these drum beats already of, he's got to compromise. He's got to compromise. Of course he's going to have to, but if he doesn't fight for good policies, it's not going to look good. And of course, dozens of election complaints have been filed by Republicans with the help from the governor's campaign. The majority of them were dismissed by GOP-controlled county election boards. McCrory referred to those concerns in his concession video, calling them continued questions that should be answered regarding the voting process. The governor called Saturday for a State Bureau of Investigation probe into absentee ballots in Bladen County. shortly after the State Board of Elections dismissed the protests calling for those ballots to be thrown out. So I'm calling into question why he's complaining about voting problems, because he's the one that caused a lot of voting problems, as well as election problems, because all they want to do is block black people and Democrats from voting. Also students and poor people. So he needs to shut the fuck up and get the fuck out. He has no leg to stand on and talk about, oh, I have concerns. You cause the fucking concerns. So I don't hear any more shit from any Republicans about, oh, I have concerns about voting. No, you fucking don't. Because you're causing concerns about blocking people from voting. We already don't vote enough. And you trying to rig the elections or rig the system so you just get cakewalks into fucking elections. Right? Cakewalks in the fucking governor's offices and the state legislative offices. Alright, and the Charlotte Observer also talks about how that Cooper, even though he's going against a supermajority, he still needs to veto any bills that are really conservative, like unnecessary abortion restrictions, because that doesn't help the health of any women in any state at all, and you're just trying to impose your religious beliefs or morals onto other people, and that's just not right. That's just overstepping your bounds as a governor or as a state legislator, is trying to impose your morals on other people. People need to make their own decisions. You don't need to be forcing people to make your decisions or to follow or to do what you want them to do. And then punitive unemployment, of course, the House bill too. So so we just got to look and make sure he's actually going to veto some conservative bills, because he's at least got to fight for us and say, you know what, this isn't good for the people, so we got to get these out. Then he also needs to fight to take on the Affordable Care Act, or to expand the Affordable Care Act in this state, because Pat McCrory denied it a few years back. So he needs to fight and make sure that everybody in the state knows that he's trying to expand Medicaid under the Affordable Care Act. So he needs to bully a lot of the state legislators to approve it. So we just need to watch, and we need to push him to really bully the Republicans as much as he can to give us good policies, because that's what we put them in there for, to make good policies for us North Carolinians.